When it comes to snakes, they are cold-blooded reptiles that will stare at you. They will suss out their environment. They will suss out their prey. They will stare at you when they are hungry. They will stare at you when they're hungry for something, or when they're lacking in trust within the environment they are in. Now, narcissistic people aren't cold-blooded. They are still human. They just have a rather negative side to them. They do lack empathy to care about those around them. They only care about getting their needs met. They can seemingly care about certain people, but what they are doing is exploiting those people to get their needs met by those people. Now, narcissistic people have many different looks to their eyes, and we can't always differentiate between the feeling we are getting around them, the emotion we are getting around them, as a positive emotion or a negative emotion. I believe it was Mel Robbins that states that fear and excitement are the same emotion, and it's down to us to internally process which emotion that's going to be. So when around narcissistic people in the love bombing stage of the relationship, the idolization stage of the relationship, when they have that intense stare, that intense gaze, when they can hold eye contact with you for a prolonged period of time, because they are sussing out their environment, they are checking out your emotions, they are looking to mirror your emotional responses to build a connection with you. And often the nerves that we feel when they are gazing at us in this way, we can mistake as the nerves as any new developing relationship, the nerves of getting to know somebody, the excitement of the new relationship. We don't recognise those nerves as feeling uncomfortable because of the fear that we're actually getting into a manipulationship. We can feel that unease around them. We don't recognise that unease as a fear we should have around that person. We recognise that unease as excitement of being around that person, getting to know that person, not realising that that narcissist is checking out who we are as a person. They are learning our emotions, they're mirroring our emotions, they're learning the things that we want out of life, and they're reflecting these back to us. So we are led to believe, we are influenced to believe that they are someone they are not. We are influenced to believe that they want the same things as us, so that they can use this as leverage to exploit us. They can hold that gaze with us, that seemingly loving gaze with us for quite some time. And we often mistake the actual creepiness of that gaze as just the intensity building of a newly formed relationship with someone. In the devaluation stage of the relationship, a narcissist can literally tear you to pieces by just looking at you in complete disgust. Disgust is used to protect us as humans, protect us from eating something that might potentially be poisonous towards us. So when a narcissist looks at us in disgust, we can feel worthless. We can feel useless. They like scrumple up their nose and mouth and just look at something we've done within disgust. So they don't even have to say anything to us to get us to start questioning ourselves. We can just receive a look from them that makes us think, oh, maybe I shouldn't be doing this. Yet if you ask them about it, they're going to accuse you of imagining things and don't be so silly, don't be so daft. So that, again, you question yourself because the dots aren't connecting until you're out of the situation and you can recognise the situation in its entirety. A narcissist will look at you in contempt, like you're worthless, like you're beneath them. So you lose your sense of self, you lose your identity to them, because in the beginning they looked at you with that intensity where they really wanted to gaze at you, they really wanted to spend that time with you, they really wanted to be around you, they really wanted to get to know you, and then all of a sudden they're disgusted by you. They don't want to spend time with you, and it gets you to question what you've done rather than what they're doing to you. That look of malice, you might just ask them a question about something that they don't want to answer because they're deceptive, because they've got things to hide, because they don't want you to know the truth. So when they're financially abusing you and they're hiding this from you and you just want to discuss everyday finances with them, they don't want to discuss these things with you because it might expose them. So they're going to look at you with that malice to place that fear within you. When you question them about something they definitely did do, they're going to look at you with malice to place that fear in you so they don't have to verbally or physically intimidate or threaten you. They want to try and do it with a look first, to try and get you to shut up, to try and get you in that state of fear so that you don't continue the conversation with them, so you don't expose them for who they truly are. And because this can sometimes, fear can take you into a state of excitement, but a negative state of excitement, you haven't received any direct punishment from them to know what they're truly capable of. The first time you question them, you might keep going with them on kind of a, well, come on then, let's sort this out, let's work this out, let's get to the bottom of this. You might be nervous, but not afraid, not worried of what they might do. It's only when it gets so far that they then turn it on to you. They provoke you, they probate you, they get you to react to them, they get you to step out of character. So you're that shocked with yourself, you no longer question them. And they're going to turn around and say, what's wrong with you? What's your problem? They're going to use that much word salad in the mix of derailing the conversation, changing the topic of conversation, that you end up feeling confused. You end up full of fear and anxiety and worry. And once they've got you there, they will sit and watch you cry with a glint in their eye, no remorse, and blame you for the pain they've caused you, to get you to blame yourself. And that little glint that they have is their duper's delight. When they know they've got away with something, when they know they're getting away with manipulating you, when they know they're getting to control you, when the narcissist feels like they need to teach you a lesson because of your naivety. So they feel like they're in the right. They kind of take the moral high ground of punishing people for not having the knowledge or the awareness of being cruel to people. And when you don't understand that humans can be cruel to people, that you have the potential to be cruel to people, you don't recognise that people can be cruel to you until you've lived it and come out the other side of it. That duper's delight, that little glint they have in their eyes, is when they feel an accomplishment for getting one over on somebody, because they lack the empathy to care for those that they get one over on. They like to get away with exploiting people, and they lack the empathy to care for those they exploit. They feel entitled to exploit people. When they look at you with pure hatred, when they're not getting what they want from you, when they're envious of you in some way, so they're looking at you in pure hatred, which can make us feel uneasy. But by that stage, You are usually left at a point where you daren't question them for fear of the repercussions that you might get from them from living the past with them, where they've retaliated in some way and pushed you to a point to retaliate to them. So you don't want to go down that route. So you don't want to question them. So when they're envious, they look at you with pure hatred. And we can then question whether we should be doing something, whether we're hurting their feelings. And it can stop us from doing the things that are right for us because they're trying to sabotage us. Now, when they're disgusted with you, when they're angry with you, when they've got that malice and that contempt towards you, when they've got that pure hatred towards you, when they're fearing exposure, when they're when they're fearing abandonment, when they feel threatened by you in some way, threatened that you might expose them, threatened that you might abandon them, when they're not getting their sense of entitlement met by you, so they hate you, when they're not able to manipulate your emotions to serve them, they hate you, they blame you. When you question them that they don't want on something they don't want you to know about, they hate you because they feel like you've got one over on them and they want to be higher than you. And this is when you might receive that cold, empty glaze from them, where it can chill you, it can chill an entire room, it can freeze you on the spot, it can send you into fight, flight, freeze and fawn, and it can freeze you into the spot you are standing. Or you might fight back, you might retaliate back to them because it looks like nobody's home. They've changed, their eyes are black and cold, and it's a very intimidating, very scary place to be. Their eyes are void of anything. And it's incredibly confusing. When it comes to a narcissist who seems to have left the building, when we say that the eyes are the windows to the soul, in one sense that connects to the fact that the eyes are the windows to our true emotions, our true feelings, our true intentions. And when narcissists fear exposure, when they fear abandonment, when they fear failure of controlling you, when they're in that state of fear, their pupils can dilate. Fear can make your pupils dilate. And then with a narcissist, due to their lack of empathy, due to their sense of entitlement being criticised, they can turn to anger. They can turn to rage. When a narcissist suffers a narcissistic injury, they can feel pure hatred towards you. They seek to punish you. So when you've got someone stood in front of you that's in fear of something, that has suffered a narcissistic injury, who lacks empathy, who seeks to punish you, this is when you need to safely step away from them. When their eyes dilate, when they turn that jet black colour, it's because they're full of hatred towards you and they're seeking a way to punish you. They believe you've got one over on them, and you might have just discovered something they've done to you, they've cheated on you, but they believe you've then got one over on them. They're in that state of fear and they're seeking to regain control of the situation. It can be incredibly frightening, it can be incredibly unsettling. You can panic at what they might do next, and some narcissists will then escalate this into physical violence, so you need to safely step away from them. And when they've got this cold, dark stare, it's like the person that you met is no longer there. The person you thought they were has gone, and you're left with somebody who you're left feeling anxious around, you're left feeling nervous around, you're left walking on eggshells for fear of bringing that side out in them, when that is who they are as a person. And it's based on the criteria of the disorder, such as a belief that they are special, arrogant and haughty behaviour, entitled to have what they please, envious of other people, lacking in empathy, and incredibly exploitative. When it comes to dealing with narcissistic people, we have to pay attention to our emotions. We have to pay attention to our instincts, because they are usually right. Our instincts are usually telling us something that we cannot recognize. Our emotions are usually telling us something that we cannot always recognize. We have to tune into our emotions in the right way so people can't take advantage of us in the wrong way. If anyone has any thoughts on this video, please do add those into the comments. Thank you very much to all the returning subscribers and your continued support with the channel. It's greatly appreciated. If you are new to the channel, I'm Elizabeth Shaw. This channel is all about narcissistic behaviour, to give you more understanding of the people you might be dealing with within your life, and to handle yourself around those people if you cannot go no contact, and different methods to find what works for you to help you understand and overcome narcissistic and emotional abuse. If you do find the information helpful on the channel, then please do subscribe. If you are looking for further help and support in understanding and overcoming narcissistic and emotional abuse, I do have several online guides available, and those teachable links are in the video description. If you're looking for someone to speak to, I have partnered with BetterHelp, and their sponsored link is also in the video description. Go out there and create the day that you deserve, because you do deserve to have an amazing day. Bye.